That being said, I mean, I think we can all agree that we need to have unity at all costs, obviously. So, and because of the sort of whining from various candidates about people engaging in politics, I have really rethought. When I first saw this moment, I thought that this was a brave stand for democracy, because Mike Bloomberg, people need to be really clear. It is not just that he has an absolutely appalling record on every single measurable issue you can imagine. It is that his intervention and buying of the process is the next step if this comes to fruition. First of all, he'll lose to Trump in a landslide. Secondly, it is the formalization. We've known that democracy is sick and in trouble. Bloomberg's a nominee. We need to rethink where we are. We're done. And we need to have an actual conversation about democracy and norms, not a real, I like the West Wing and I'm freaked out by Trump one, but a real one. You have to understand the difference between even an appalling candidate like Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton and the contradictions that they represent versus the unmitigated representation of plutocracy buying its way into the electoral form. That all being said, so I thought that this protest video we're about to see was awesome. But again, after some whining from some of the candidates and their surrogates, we might have a different thought on it. But you're going to need to make, take this, check this out on your own.
Check out this Bernie bro.
This happened yesterday. Here was a Bernie bro at a Bloomberg rally in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This Bernie bro got very divisive.
My breath. I am that excited.
It's also divisive that they cut her mic, though, too, to be fair.
I mean, that is true. There's a lot of division
A lot of
here.
division go down. Let's just play this again.
Yeah.
My breath. I am that excited.
That is not democracy. That is plutocracy.
And divisive that they boo her, too.
Whoa, they're booing her. That's also, I don't think that that's unity.
Who are these cucks who like Bloomberg?
I hope they're being paid.
Yeah, probably a good chunk of them are.
Yeah,
I mean, are just rich authoritarian liberals,
or they're rich authoritarian liberals.
Who was that guy who walked off the stage?
I can't believe it. I mean, I've been hearing that you aren't supposed to tweet a joke at major news personalities, or God forbid, to ask them to correct their lies or defamatory statements. I thought we were past all of that. I thought we were supposed to have a unity campaign. So obviously that aggressive Bernie bro that you saw just
Bernie
there,
should call out that woman.
Yeah, Bernie should call out that woman. Absolutely. That's number one. That's the most important thing that needs to happen in the campaign right now. But then they booed her protest. So it's all just very non-unity based and divisive. It's almost like we're running in a primary. So Mike Bloomberg can destroy any last vestige of credibility of the Democratic Party, of the news media, of political leadership across the board, of the broad center left in this country. And we'll get to this terrifying report that Ryan Grimm did on how he's buying off talent across the country, which speaks to broader structural problems. That's all going to happen. Don't for a second blame people who say they are not able to vote for a oligarch stop and frisk mayor. I'm not even going to entertain that whining and conversation.
It's like saying, hey, we're, instead of doing this thing that might have a chance to beat Trump, we're going to instead try to fly over the Atlantic in a air balloon made out of cotton candy. Please get on, or you don't really care about,
right.
It's not going to happen, guys.
It's not going to happen.
Got to draw the line somewhere.
If you do that, you go do that. So, and let's just be really clear. Mike Bloomberg's going to go to Wisconsin and say, I'm richer than Donald Trump, and I'm going to take away your e-cigarette. If you think that that's a winning strategy, then more power to you. And I really hope you're getting compensated to be so delusional. Donald Trump has not had strong material like this since the halcyon days of the Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush era. Here he is this morning. Mini Mike Bloomberg is a loser, all capital, who has money but can't debate and has zero presence. By the way, this is why they are hiding him and have him so tightly choreographed, because they know that Mike Bloomberg is immensely unlikable and repulsive to anybody he isn't paying. He reminds me of a tiny version of Jeb, quote unquote, low energy Bush. But Jeb has more political skill and has treated the black community much better than Mini, 2 exclamation points. And there's a serious point here. For people who haven't been paying attention, and at some point you have to start thinking strategically about Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump is obscene. Yes, he is disgusting. Yes, it's a threat to democracy with him and Bill Burr.
Yes, he's hypocritical.
Yes, he's, oh, wow, yeah. Whoa, no, actually, keep emphasizing that one. That would be a really political killer. Okay, yes, he's a racist. But starting with his Super Bowl ad, Donald Trump is running a very, very, very clear and conscious campaign to get a couple of percentage points from the African-American voters, which is all he needs. That's all he needs. If he flips 2-3%, he wins. And you're going to run him, like somebody against him, who absolutely he can pummel. Now, by the way, I think, frankly, there's some of the dynamic here with how overt and insane Bloomberg's racism. I think there's some dynamic where I've talked to some people, some black friends, frankly, who are just like, yeah, duh. A lot of white politicians are like this. He just says it, right? And I think there's some element of like, the white liberal folks are more shocked by this. But the bottom line is that, first of all, we all need to be shocked by this. And secondly, okay, all you need to do is pull 2-3 percentage points, and Donald Trump can dine off of clips like this.
From stop and frisk to fingerprinting, Mayor Bloomberg's latest crime-fighting idea has a lot of people angry tonight. The mayor wants to fingerprint more than 600,000 people who live in public housing.
What we really should have is fingerprinting to get in. And of course, since there's an allegation that some of these apartments aren't occupied by the people who originally have the lease.
That's like invasion of somebody's privacy or something. Why you want to fingerprint somebody? It's bad enough when you get arrested, you get fingerprinted.
Why? For what? We live here. What? All these years, this is not jail.
You want to prove you live here? All you got to do is ask to see the lease. Well, I don't think it's right. So Bloomberg needs to stop his mess.
This is when we talk about pilot programs of authoritarianism, Bloomberg did that on the people of color of New York City. I mean, be very clear about that. He went further in some key areas than the Trump administration has been able to do. And look, maybe ICE under Bloomberg will do some, emotional sensitivity trainings and ask people their preferred pronoun or something. But if you think there's going to be any structural change from a man who justified spying on college students' whitewater rafting trips, you're out of your mind.
Or on the take.
Yeah.
Or on the take.
He's also said a lot of incredibly sexist things that put grab him by the pussy to shame. I mean, someone named Sarah in NY has a whole tweet thread about all the sexist, misogynistic, and rape apologia statements that have come out of that guy's mouth. And if you think that Trump won't try to weaponize that against him, you're crazy. Like, Trump runs on liberal hypocrisy.
Exactly. And it would work better because Republicans don't care about that, and Democrats, I guess, too. I mean, yeah.
Well, well, again, we also see how cynical that, right? Like, how many people who I want an intersectional body language expert to look at micro expressions on Bernie's face when he condemned police violence are going to go like, he apologized. Yeah. Nah, take a scan of the retina. What are you going to do? He's a Republican.
You're
all right.
Showing your asses.
All right. Okay. Today's show is brought to you by